My hunt for extraterrestrials has finally arrived in Roswell, New Mexico, where I'm about to get an audience with the Pope. Nick Pope, that is. He's a renowned journalist and Roswell researcher who's also investigated UFO reports for the British government. He's arranged very exclusive access to a local aircraft hangar.
Nick,
great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, and welcome to Roswell Army Airfield as it was back in 1947. This base was home to the 509th Bomb Group, the only atomic bomb-capable squadron in the world.
And this place is really central to the Roswell incident story, right?
After the debris was recovered, this is where they took it.
So whatever crashed out there in the desert, it went here?
Yes, and for those people that believe there were alien bodies as well as just the wreckage, they were stored in there too.
Awesome. While the facility is long decommissioned and closed to the public, Nick has secured permission to step inside. Okay, so take me back in time a bit. So what is meant to have happened here that put Roswell on the map?
Well, in 1947, the military put out a press release, and they said, we have recovered a flying disc. This then made headlines all around the world.
So this is the Roswell Daily Record, July 8th, 1947. RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. So what happens after this?
Well, what happens is that within 24 hours, the military go from saying, we've recovered one of these flying discs, to saying, no, everyone has made a mistake, it was just a weather balloon.
Right.
And we see this story in the next day's paper, and the general effectively debunks the flying disc story.
And the high-ranking official, who's Brigadier General Roger Ramey, he's saying now, it's just a weather balloon.
Yes. People who believe in conspiracies say that's when the conspiracy started. That's day one of the government covering this up.
The wreckage disappeared, and most of the documents were classified or went missing. But this hangar, the one-time home of a supposed alien craft, remains. And there's one door in the building that has been closed for a very, very long time.
Well, out here in the main body of the hangar, that's where the debris was kept. But those people who say there were bodies as well believe that they were kept in here.
This was the room.
This was the room.
This is literally like the alien autopsy room.
Absolutely. Cadavers out and an autopsy conducted on them.
How many people have been in here?
Only a handful of people outside this base have ever looked into this room.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, bust it open. Actually, I'm not kidding. I don't like locked doors. And so, after nearly 3 hours of meeting with the hangar's current owners and maintenance staff, they agree to help us get to the heart of the Roswell mystery. Okay, here we go. No alien bodies.
Sadly not.
But if these walls could talk, right?
Oh, they'd have a heck of a story. If some people are to be believed, this is where we really found out, or rather the US government found out, that we're not alone in the universe.
Do you think that something extraterrestrial came to this room?
I'm undecided. I haven't yet seen enough evidence to make me say, yes, it was definitely aliens.
So what will it take to finally make a call on Roswell?
Well, this is like a cold case, like an unsolved murder or something, and sometimes some new piece of evidence does come forward, and as it happens, there is some new piece of evidence that might help blow open the whole mystery and solve it. There is some new piece of evidence that might help blow open the whole mystery and solve it.
Okay.
If you look at one of the iconic photos taken after the incident, you see the General Roger Ramey, and in his hand is a document.
This is perhaps the most famous photo in UFO history. General Ramey stooped over a crushed weather balloon. Roswell supporters claim this photo op was designed to cover up the actual crash. They believe Ramey's orders are in plain sight in his left hand.
General Ramey is the senior military officer involved with this. So the document that he's holding almost certainly pertains to the Roswell incident itself. Now, that photo is the only evidence of this document. The original seems to have been lost, disappeared. We don't know. If we can read that document, we might be able to solve the whole mystery.
Right.
Now, as it happens, there is an excellent researcher doing some work on this, Kevin Randall. He has access to the original negative of that picture, which is in an archive in Arlington, Texas. He'd be a great person for you to go and see, because if you can read that document, it really could be a way of solving the whole mystery one way or the other.
Incredible. To view the Ramey photo, Nick sends me to Arlington, Texas, and the University of Texas Special Collections Division. Waiting for me there is his colleague, researcher Kevin Randall. So let's start with this. Why is the Ramey memo so important to so many people?
Because the Ramey memo is the single most important piece of documentation we have relating to the Roswell case. Ramey's holding the thing in his hand.
Right.
If it can be properly read, and it says what some people believe it says, it proves that there is alien visitation.
To the believers, it's a smoking gun.
Absolutely.
Countless researchers have tried to enhance the photo, and like everything about Roswell, the results have been a matter of fevered debate. There's consensus on only a few words in the memo. Most believers claim to see the phrase, victims of the wreck, which they believe is proof that alien occupants were recovered by the military in 1947. And what makes this analysis today different?
So we're starting with the original negative. It's being scanned specifically for the purpose of attempting to read what the memo says.
Okay. We enter the library, and waiting for us in a cool room are librarian Brenda McClurkin and our forensic photo analyst Mike Primo. Nice to meet you. Pleasure. These very famous Ramey memo photos are here.
Yes, they're here in the cold vault.
I'm excited to see the original. Let's do it.
Okay.
Ready. The vault is meticulously kept at 38 degrees to prevent the film inside from developing mold, curling, or decay. The Ramey photo is one of the most valuable here and is rarely handled. This is the photo that has sparked more than a half a century of debate. And that is the original negative.
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's incredible. And the memo we see is in his hand there, yes?
Yes.
Mike, let's talk about what happens from here. What is generally the process of getting into the analysis of this photo from the negative stage?
This negative would need to be scanned into a digital format, put on a computer with the appropriate software, and we take a look at it.
Got it. Mike scans the negative and begins the laborious process of forensically analyzing the photo. Every pixel is scrutinized. This is the first time an impartial, court-certified expert has done this kind of examination on the Ramey memo. And after hours of work, he's ready to show the results.
Using forensic enhancement techniques, here we've got multiple coloring filters. We apply some sharpening.
Okay.
So as we adjust these and change the filters, the color balance has revealed more to the human eye.
Right. Now, to be clear, you're looking at this with fresh eyes.
Yes.
You don't have a dog in this fight.
Exactly.
With your fresh eyes and experience, what do you see?
Out of the first visible line of text, we can't see anything. We can't
Nothing.
read anything. No. In the second line, I was confidently able to identify in the viewing of the letter G connected to the.
And does that line up with what other people have seen in that line?
Absolutely not.
It doesn't.